What's up, guys? How you guys doing today? And welcome back to another YouTube video on my YouTube channel, guys. And today's video, guys, we are doing the 2025 Stanley Cup Playoff Bracket Challenge predictions. This is an annual thing for this channel. Once the Stanley Cup Playoff Bracket Challenge is open to the public on the day of, is when we get to open our Stanley Cup playoff predictions. See a lot of great matchups there. We'll get right into it. But before we get this part started, guys, my bracket challenge league, I made my own bracket challenge league. It'll be at the top link of the description on this YouTube video. It's open, it's public, nothing crazy of having my league be a private thing with like passcodes or whatever it is, but it's open, it's public for you guys. So hopefully you guys have fun doing some predictions, kind of like me. Always have fun doing it. So fourth year doing bracket challenge predictions, and let's see if this will be a good year that I will get my Stanley Cup champion correct. So with that being said, guys, let's get right into it. All right. Winnipeg, St. Louis. So first off, Winnipeg has won the President's Trophy as the best team in all of the NHL. Like, finished first out of 32. If you guys know very well, there's a curse for President's Trophy teams that have rarely won the Stanley Cup. The last time it happened was the 2012-2013 Chicago Blackhawks. St. Louis, on the other hand, barely made the playoffs after having a crazy win streak. I think they were like on a 13-14 game winning streak. But they were on a winning record in the whole month of March and halfway to April. Do I see St. Louis pick up an upset? I don't think so. I feel like Hellebuck will have a high advantage in terms of stealing the show in the opening round. Winnipeg's going to eliminate St. Louis. Now, next one is Dallas versus Colorado. Now, I say this is interesting because I've heard a lot of rumors that's possible that Gabe Landeskog could return to the Avalanche in the playoffs. If that's the case, that's a high boost for this team. If that's the case, Colorado will beat Dallas. And I feel like everybody's going to say the same thing. Either way, they're going to beat Dallas. They're going to beat Dallas. If Rantanen somehow just steamrolls the whole playoff series, I'll say Dallas over Colorado. Either way, I'm going to say Colorado will beat Dallas. Vegas versus Minnesota. Now, I would say this is a must-watch Western Conference matchup for the playoffs because this is Marc-Andre Fleury's last run in the playoffs. Given the fact that this is his former team in the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas is very good in the playoffs. Minnesota has a great young team that's lucky to make the playoffs. So, with that said, there will be a huge upset for me. Minnesota, I would say over Vegas. Fleury is going to make the most of it in the first round. Upset Vegas to go to the second round. Play either LA or Edmonton. For the fourth straight year, the Oilers and the Kings are playing against each other in the first round. 4 for 4? Indeed. Oilers over the Kings again. I got the Jets and the Blues. Winnipeg in 5. Colorado in 6. Minnesota in 6 over Vegas, and then 7 games in the Edmonton LA series. All right. Eastern Conference is pretty much stacked with must-watch matchups. Toronto, Ottawa. First off, Ottawa's finally made the playoffs for the first time since 2017. Good for them. Toronto, on the other hand, I would say has a high advantage in terms of going to the second round or farther. New coach knows how to coach playoff hockey. Toronto over Ottawa. Battle of Florida, Tampa Bay versus Florida. Now this is an interesting one. Tampa is so lucky to make the playoffs without Stamkos in the post-Stamkos era. Hedman has been doing a good job leading this team. Florida, on the other hand, is going for a defending cup. I would say Tampa is going to upset the hopes of Florida going for another cup run, which will not happen. I'm going to have this Caps and Canadiens series for last because, as you guys know, I'm a Caps fan, so I'm going to save that for last. But anyways, Carolina versus New Jersey. Again, this is an interesting one, but here's the thing. New Jersey's head coach is Sheldon Keefe. And you guys know what happened with Toronto. He did not have any playoff success. He only had one playoff series win, and that was it. Given the fact that there's a difference that he's coaching a new team, a very well younger team that takes this seriously. Carolina, on the other hand, has been winning playoff series after series after series every year. I would see them still. Carolina will beat New Jersey in the first round. And now Caps and Montreal. This, as a Caps fan, this is going to be a nail biter of a series. Here's why. Montreal has a powerful young team in Juraj Slafkovsky, Cole Caulfield, Lane Hudson, and Sam Montembeault. Right? Montreal was second dead last in the standings as on December 1st. With the crazy turnaround that this has been for Montreal, barely made the playoffs. But I think this is going to be the same book, kind of like the Rangers and the Capitals last year. But it's in a different sense. I don't think the Caps are going to sweep the Canadiens. But either way, Caps will eliminate the Canadiens. For the Toronto-Ottawa series, I'm going to say Toronto in 5. Give the Senators a game. Tampa in 6 over Florida. Caps in 6 over Montreal. And Carolina in 5 over New Jersey. So now, the semifinals, Western Conference semifinals is Winnipeg, Colorado, and then Minnesota and Edmonton. All right. Winnipeg, Colorado. 2 Central Division matchups that are very great teams. Again, if Landeskog is still there, Colorado is going to go for a long playoff run in terms of motivation. Winnipeg, I'm going to say they're going to be very, very tired from that St. Louis game, even though it was 5 games. Colorado's going to make them play harder because Colorado will go to the conference finals. Minnesota, Edmonton. This will be the final stop of Fleury's career. Edmonton will eliminate Minnesota, go back to the conference finals for the second consecutive season. Second round, Maple Leafs, Lightning. Craig Berube is the Leafs head coach. Berube is going to make sure the Leafs need to get where they need to be for the past five seasons. Berube will make sure that this team will be at the same exact expectations. Toronto will eliminate Tampa Bay to go to the conference finals for the first time since I don't know how long. Now, Capitals and Carolina. This will be a crazy series. Now, I must say, now you got the Montreal series out of the way, right? So now, this is going to determine your playoff front. Whoever goes out of the series will have a high chance of going to the Stanley Cup final. I'm going to say that. If the Capitals beat the Hurricanes, there's going to be factors into it. I forgot to mention this of the Caps and Canadiens series. You need Alexei Protas to be on the lineup in Game 1. Logan Thompson on Game 1. So now you're going to be fully set. You got your motivation for the Ovechkin goal record. So if Thompson does this thing, Protas does this thing, key factors like McMichael, Strome, Ovechkin, Chychrun, Dubois, like the top 6 or top 9-ish forwards, and like your top 4 defensemen doing their thing, Caps will be just fine. Carolina, they're going to be stuck in the second round either way. So if this was against the Capitals, it's going to be Caps and 6 over Carolina. Even though I'm a Caps fan, I know you're going to say, "Oh, you're biased." I'm just saying what I'm saying. All right. Final 4. We got Colorado versus Edmonton, Toronto, Washington. So Eastern Conference, like I said, whoever comes out of the second round, Caps and Carolina, if this was the case, will have a good chance to go to the Stanley Cup final, which would be that the Capitals will be Eastern Conference champions. Will they play either Colorado or Edmonton? Now I'm going to say this. If this was Colorado and Edmonton, this is going to go to 7 games. And I'll tell you that. Edmonton is going to try so hard going back to the Stanley Cup final and try to get their redemption. So, if that's the case, if McDavid, Draisaitl keeps constant numbers, keeps their pace up and going for this team, then I would say they will go to the Stanley Cup final again. Colorado has Landeskog. We're talking about the Landeskog part. If it's the opening round. If it's the opening round, Colorado's going to go farther, and this will be a tremendous story for Landeskog in the Avs. If Landeskog's there, McKinnon doing his thing, Cale Makar doing his thing, and whoever's the Avalanche goalie, but whoever it is. If it's Blackwood, I think that Colorado will stop at the conference finals either way. So it's going to be Edmonton and Washington in the Stanley Cup final. And the winner of the 2025 Stanley Cup. This I would say this is going to be a tight matchup, which I would think this would be a great Stanley Cup matchup. Oilers Capitals. You got McDavid and Ovechkin. Ovechkin's storyline is breaking the all-time goals record. Edmonton's storyline is, can McDavid get his first Stanley Cup in his future Hall of Fame career, right? Now, here's the thing. Now this is gonna be put to a test between McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard, Nugent Hopkins, and the depth itself, and Stuart Skinner. If the Oilers continue to what they did in the Stanley Cup final, I'm not talking about when they were down 3-0 in the series and came back at 3, about a potential reverse sweep. They were behind the 8 ball that whole season last year. But based on how the Caps are going to perform throughout the whole Stanley Cup, after going through a great young Montreal team, a great Carolina team, you beat the Toronto Maple Leafs, and now you're going to face another tough matchup for the Edmonton Oilers. And if we're going to talk about the Edmonton Oilers itself, let's talk about, you've already beat the LA Kings, so that's easy right there. Minnesota, that's also another easy go, pretty much. But you basically beat a hard-nosed team in the Colorado Avalanche. So now Edmonton's now facing a team that has beat a young Canadiens team, a great playoff experienced Hurricanes team, getting their redemption from what happened in 2019 Stanley Cup playoffs, and beating a whole new Toronto Maple Leafs team. My Stanley Cup winner is the Washington Capitals. Capitals, I know you're going to say, oh, you're biased. Capitals will upset another McDavid run. I'm going to say 25 goals. You can call me biased all you want. This is the motivation right there from Ovechkin's goal record and the whole playoffs, cramming it all in one team. And this will it take to win the Stanley Cup. That will be a perfect storyline, perfect finish of a iconic story season for Ovechkin and the Caps. Caps are my Stanley Cup prediction champions. Let's hope I'm right, all right? So yeah, guys, that's going to be it. Let me know down in the comments, who do you guys got winning the Stanley Cup? I know there's, you guys may think that Avalanche in terms of if Landeskog's going to return, McDavid's redemption for the Stanley Cup, Ovechkin's record-breaking season that will give the motivation to win the Stanley Cup. There's a lot. There's a lot. So let me know down in the comments who do you guys got. And also join my bracket challenge league will be at the top of the description below on this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, please hit the like button. That would greatly appreciate me. That's made me do more videos in your future. Monday is where everything begins for the Caps. Stanley Cup playoff run begins. I will go live on Monday night as Caps take on the Montreal Canadiens, so hope you guys will be there for that. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, So if you guys can help me get to 1,000 subscribers, please hit the subscribe button, share the channel with the people that you know, so that you guys can find out what will I do when I get 1,000 subscribers, which you guys do not want to miss that. Thank you guys so much for watching, guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow my social medias. Links will be in the description below. With that being said, guys, I will see you guys on my next YouTube video. All right? Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for watching.